And welcome to the latest edition of the Dog Witch podcast with me, Lisa McCabe, your host. Today I have a wonderful guest. I've got Jen Wilson from the Healing Rebel with us. I am very lucky to have Jen in my life. Not only is she a guide for just keeping me happy and healthy, but she's also a beautiful friend as well. So welcome, Jen. I'm so happy to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me. And Zach, I'm getting all the
Zach,
cuddles from Zach
Zach
today.
loves you as well. Zach absolutely adores you. You're not getting much of a chance to not cuddle Zach there. So today we always start off when I have an in-person guest with me in the studio. We always start off with, what are you drinking? So what are you drinking today, Jen?
Right now, today I am drinking a lemon and ginger tea that you made for me to get some warmth into the body because it's very damp today.
Yes. I have also got lemon and ginger tea as well because I am trying to boost my own immune system as well. So there we have it, that's what we're drinking today. So Jen, do you want to just give us a wee quick introduction to yourself and your business?
So I am Jen Wilson, the Healing Rebel, as Lisa has already said, and I help women feel safe in their bodies so that they can get into a space of healing. We need to be able to get our nervous system out of sympathetic fight and flight space and into parasympathetic where we can rest, digest and heal, and we do that through movement and breathwork practices. And sorry, I realised I was like my legs right across touching you there.
We're all friends.
I'm just being a wee bit too close today. So we do that through movement and relaxation practices, so massage, Reiki drumming, access bars,
all the good stuff.
Lymphatic drainage to help clear out the toxins and inflammation and just, help the body calm and relax.
So kind of similar to what I do for dogs, only you do it for humans.
Yes, I think it's pretty much the same because we use like a lot of the same herbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do. And if I'm ever struggling for something, you're the first person that I turn to. Can I use this? What does this do? What does that do? So
likewise.
So tell us, Jen, when did you start doing this? How did you get into it?
So I got into the fitness element of things back in 2009 when I came back from Australia and I decided to retrain. But I got into more of the holistic healthcare stuff in 2017 when I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease, because I realised that on the outside I looked fit and healthy, but on the inside I wasn't, because I was overriding and I was living in that sympathetic state all the time. I was teaching too many classes, I was living on the adrenaline, buzz, go. Felt like I had to prove myself all the time because I wasn't academically good at school, and then I got into health fitness and really enjoyed it and was learning a lot, and I felt smart in that area, so then I felt like I had to prove it, and then also felt like I had to lead by example, so therefore I had to look a particular way and show up all the time. But even though that wasn't what I was teaching my clients, I was teaching my clients to listen to their own bodies, and if they needed to rest, to take the rest. If they turned up to class and just were like, oh yeah, I'm here just because I need to, that was totally fine, and just let their legs roll through if they were doing a spin class, or adapted their training, but then I wasn't given that same compassion to me.
Walking the walk.
Exactly, yes, it was to do as I say, not as I do.
Yes, exactly, yeah. And I suppose that's really interesting to hear you say that, because you're one of the most knowledgeable people that I know. Like, if there's like something that I need to know, you're the first person that I turn to. So it's really weird to hear you say that you didn't feel like smart enough, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that just the school structure didn't work for me, the way that they taught that sit down and listen. Yeah. And I'm not a good listener. I very much like visual and kinesthetic learner, so I need to be doing it. It's like, here's how you do it, show me, and then right, you go have a practice. And that's where it goes in. But at school, that's not how you're taught. You're taught from a textbook, read, listen to the teacher, and you'd be like, oh, my mind was wandering all over the place.
So we having kind of, just as you're saying that, we had a kind of similar conversation with our son's teacher at the latest parents' night actually. She said he's brilliant, you know, he's really switched on, he knows his stuff, but as soon as she starts talking to the class, he's like la 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 la, looking out the window and not listening. But Killian's very much hands-on, he likes to learn. and because he's now in primary 4, they've taken away a lot of the play structured learning. So he's now just like bored because he's like, I'm not listening to you, so he switches off. But then when she sits with him kind of one-to-one, he gets it and he's like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now, and he'll just go away and do it. So,
which is so interesting because they talk about, like, when you look into like vagus nerve stuff and into nervous system regulation, it's well known in like the psychology world that you need to be in parasympathetic state to be able to learn, and that play is the best way to learn even for adults. So it's so strange to me that in the school structure they have that set up for up to a certain age, and then after you're a certain age you have to do it this other way, even though it doesn't work for most people. It's a strange one.
It's nuts. It's nuts. So talk us through what you do, like what do your services and things look like? How do you help people?
So I've got some online classes which I teach Pilates and relaxing yoga. So the relaxing yoga is very much connect into your breath. We do a hand and foot massage on ourselves and then roll about the floor and then go into relaxation, which is a guided relaxation. So if you looked at it from the outside, it doesn't look like a yoga class because we're not doing warrior pose and tree pose and all that sort of stuff. When I was talking to my class when we were, like, when I'm thinking about how to design the class for them, I used to do standing up stuff, and then one day I was like, I just want to stay on the floor, I don't want to stand up. And I had said to them and they were like, oh no, that's great. Let me lie down, because so much of our day is upright, going about and doing stuff, and actually our nervous system, when we get our spine in contact with the floor, that helps the body get into a deeper state of relaxation. So that rolling about the floor thing really works for them and for me. And the Pilates classes probably more upright than it is down on the floor, because it's more about balance and coordination and stabilisation, and because we need to do that upright, there's no point in learning how to stabilise your body only lying on the floor when you don't spend most of your time there. So there's those two aspects, and then I do lymphatic drainage massage, the Reiki drum and access bars. So lymphatic drainage massage is very much about helping clear out the toxins in your body and supporting your body's natural detoxification process. Everybody's lymphatic system is working all day every day, but it can get congested and blocked, and that can be to do with your posture. So if you're very hunched over, and because most of what we do in life is in this forward position, lots of the lymph lives at the front, it drains at the front, so we need to be able to clear that. So being able to go for a lymphatic drainage massage, I also teach people how to do it for themselves, because going for a treatment is lovely, but it's what do you do in between to support that. So as long as you're peeing and pooing and doing an exhale breath and allowing the tears to flow and sweating, then your body is detoxing, but is it detoxing enough for what you're being exposed to? So I also talk to people about reducing their toxic load. So what are you eating, what are you drinking, what skincare products are you putting on, and I know you talk about this with the dogs as well, like not using like perfumed and fragranced candles and detergents and stuff, because all of that's going into your system. We now know that these artificial ones are forever chemicals, so your body can't get rid of them in the same way. So it's being aware of all these
and that's so, as you say, it's so important in today's world, I suppose, because we are just full of chemicals and toxins. I don't know, did you see, no you don't because you don't have a TV, but there was, Joe Wicks had done a programme about this. It was basically like a protein bar that he was making, and it was like, it just basically made you have the runs, but it was to highlight how toxic our food, like the food industry actually is, and it made you quite scared to eat anything really. It was like, oh wow. I'm a big fan of Joe Wicks, but I felt that was maybe a wee bit of a step too far.
Well, so I didn't see the programme, but I heard like people were talking about it, and I was hearing mixed reviews about it. Some people were saying, oh, that's just alarmist, that's scaremongering people into being fearful about eating, but what I understand he was pointing out is a lot of the stuff that's sold to you as food isn't actually food. Like your fruit and vegetables, your meats, your fish, all the stuff that you know exactly what it is, and it's not got an ingredients list, that is real food. Anything that comes in a packet with an ingredients list isn't, because it's been made in a factory, and they add stuff in to keep a long shelf life that shouldn't be in your body, and all these other things to enhance flavours.
Totally. I mean, the bar that he made had no food.
Oh.
It was just literally full of like powders and additives and just gunk.
Yeah.
But when people were tasting it, they were going, oh yeah, that's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
But
god.
that's because your taste buds have been accustomed to that. Because I think he was obviously these protein bars. You go into Holland to Barrett or a health food shop, and there's rows and rows and rows of all these bars, and you think, well, they're in the health food shop, so therefore they must be all right. But if you look at the ingredients list, you're like, what is that? What is
exactly.
that?
Well, now I'm actually better at it for the dog than I am at it for the humans. I think because I'm just so switched into dogs all the time. But I read the ingredients of stuff like all the time. I mean, even like things for dogs, like the processed things that go into dogs. I mean, it's more unregulated for dogs than it is for humans. So the things that go into dog food, sometimes you're a bit like, oh my god. And even like treats, like some rawhide treats can have like glue in them and things, and we're giving these to our dogs like willingly, thinking that we're giving them a nice treat, like all these fancy things that come out at Christmas and stuff. They look amazing, but actually you're slowly killing your dog by giving, and I suppose
It's
that's
the
what
same,
we're
that's what
doing
we're
with
doing to
ourselves.
ourselves. Yeah. It's like a slow suicide when you're eating non-food foods.
So I suppose what you do is you help people get rid of all that crap in their body.
Yeah, and encourage them not to reload the body. But if you, we can't help being exposed to pollution, and if you walk into a restaurant or whatever, or a shop, whatever, they've got these fragrances and stuff, you're assaulted every time you go out the house by toxins, so you can't get away from them. So how do you then support your body in the best way to be able to get rid of them?
Yeah. And I suppose one of the other things you do is you help people with like stress and anxiety and things like that. I had an amazing session with Jen where I met He-Man during a Reiki drum session, and it's not as weird as it sounds, I promise it's not, but just kind of talk us through that. How does that all work?
Yeah, so Reiki, as you know, is an energy healing where you're being guided by a Reiki practitioner to awaken the inner healer in you. The person, the guide is not actually doing anything other than holding space for you to awaken that energy. When we then bring in the Reiki drum, the drum has been what's that word? Attuned. I'll let that is there somewhere. It's been attuned to the Reiki energies, and then we set an intention, and then the rhythm of the drum taps into your brain waves, and it can help override the conscious thought to tap into your unconscious mind, so that you can get the answers that you need, and they'll come through as you did in cartoon form, or meeting, like I've had somebody met their future self, other people have met their ancestors, people have met Indian tribes people and been welcomed in and said, this is your journey, this is your path, and being able to be shown what it is that they need to move on to the next stage of their life. It's not laying out the whole future, it's what's this next one thing that you need to understand or learn or let go of, so that you can step forward on your journey.
It's quite profound, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got a lot from it, and in a previous kind of sort of Reiki drumming session, I had actually met my granddad, and it wasn't too long after he'd passed, and we went on a walk through the forest together, and he told me that he was fine and that everything was okay, and that to me, like I came out of that just feeling so much lighter, so much more at peace, and knowing that he was all right. And I suppose that's the kind of gift that you give to people, is that, I mean, I literally floated home from your house that day.
There's a couple of times I have when clients have been leaving, I'm like, are you okay to drive? Like, gonna text me when you get home. If you're feeling lightheaded, do not start the engine. Like, stamp your feet, make sure you drink plenty of water, make sure you feel okay before you drive.
When we did the reset day, Jen does an amazing, now remind me what the name of it is, where we come for the few hours.
I keep changing the name of it, so don't worry, the reset's fine for it.
So the reset day was amazing. We went to Jen and we had some lovely chai tea, and we did some gentle movement, we did some lovely self-massage, and then you did all the Reiki drumming and that. And when I came out of that, I literally like floated. I think I levitated to the car, and my daughter phoned me to ask where I was, because I think I'd come out like a little bit late. I think I actually fell asleep, and do you know that way it took me a few moments to get myself together? It was kind of like, who am I? What's my name? Where am I? I was just like, what? And then she's like, Mum, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yes, I'm fine. I'm back in the room. So it just kind of gave me that space, and I had never kind of like switched off like that before. And I suppose it's such a gift that you're able to give to people.
Yeah, being able to hold that space and give permission for this is what our intention is for you to quieten the mind, follow your breath, just let go. And I think the drum really helps because it gives your mind something to follow. I've been to things like guided meditations before where I'm like listening to the person and then the thoughts come in a daydream and then I'm like, oh shit, I was meant to be listening to them, and then I circle back and I'm like, oh, I don't know where we are with this, or I've completely lost it, or they're doing something that just doesn't resonate, like a visualization, or I'm like, I don't see anything, I don't know what you're talking about. And I find that difficult to relax into, whereas the drum overrides that.
Yeah.
Because it's the power of the rhythm of the drum.
That's exactly how I felt as well. Because if people say, oh, imagine going into a garden and doing this, and I'm like, I can't see a garden, I have no idea what you're talking about. Whereas I could hear the drum constantly, so I was just like focusing on that, so there wasn't anything else.
Yeah, the chatter wasn't there.
Yeah, and then He-Man came.
Because I mean, at the start when we do the Reiki drumming, the journey, because there's a couple of different ways to do Reiki drumming. When we do the journey, like I will say you're going to go over a bridge, but I'm also very clear to say to people, you might see the bridge, you might not visualise it, it just get a sense of going over a bridge, and that takes away some of that, well, I'm not seeing anything, so therefore I'm not going over. And I know to do that because that's how I would have experienced it, so I'm able to be able to offer it in different ways to accommodate different needs, because when you were there, there was a group of you, so it's like, right, there's not just one person here, so I know that different needs are going to need to be met here, so how can I make it feel as inclusive for everybody without it being that, you know, if we're just talking about inclusivity, it's not about that, but it is, who have I got in the room, what are their individual needs, how can I make that work within the group. And it's the same how I teach, like if I'm teaching Pilates or yoga, I know who I've got in class, I know what they've got going on in their bodies, and I'm like, right, for you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way, but I don't point them out. I'm like, if you've got something going on in your hips, this is what you do. If you've got something going on in your foot, this is what you do. So I'm highlighting the issue, because somebody might have one of those issues that they haven't told me about, or they've forgotten that they've had. So it's being able to share that without anybody going, oh, that's me she's talking to.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, your way of teaching is just so gentle, and you're so knowledgeable as well, so that comes across, so you know that you're in safe hands when you come with you. So it's clear, it comes through that you're so passionate about it. What is it that you love about what you do?
Oh, there's so much. There's so much that I love. I think I love seeing people get that sense of peace, or the aha moment, whichever it is that they've come for, or if we get the combination of both, then that's like a double whammy win. There was a client who had come to me and she was like, oh, I don't really know if I'm going to get anything out of this, and we had a wee bit of a chat before she had her session, and at the end of it she sat up and she's like, I need to hug you. And I was like, okay then, because she got answers.
Right.
We used the drumming, we used some Reiki, and we used some touch therapy to clear the path, and for people to be able to get that, just one bit of clarity is like the biggest gift in the world. And I'm always like, I don't ever want to take this for granted, and I'm always in awe of when things happen. Like I have a client who comes for lymphatic drainage massage, and she has MS, and she's got scar tissue in her legs from where one of the medications that she used to inject herself with, because it was over a prolonged period of time. She got scar tissue in her legs, so it was really hard to touch in her legs. But one of her legs she can't lift it. She has to physically pick it up to be able to cross her legs or to go up the stairs. And after the massage treatment, like at the first time, I had gone away, let her get changed when I came back in, and she's like, Jen, I need to show you something, look at this. And she crossed her legs, and I didn't know at the time that she couldn't do that, and I was like, oh, what? You just crossed your legs, what's that about? And she explained to me that she would normally have to lift it up, and then she walked out of the house up the stairs to get the house, lifting her foot and going up one after the other, rather than going up one step at a time and dragging that other leg with her. And then she came back the next time, and it'd gone, but she hadn't done the practice that I had suggested that she did while in between, just because life gets in the way and you forget, and it's easy to forget. So we did the massage again, and again left her to get changed. When I came back in, she's standing marching in the spot with her knees coming right up. Look, this is amazing. So I sent her a video of what to do this time. I'm like, right, really do it this time to help keep those pathways open. And our mutual friend Susan is like, but you're so good at what you do. And I'm like, but that's not me, that's the body. Like, I'm creating space for it to happen.
You're facilitating that though.
There's a facilitation, but it's still their body that's responding to that facilitation. And I'll never not be in awe of that.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to not be in awe of it.
Yeah, I suppose, like, I'm kind of the same with dogs as well. You know, like, people will say to me, you know, like, there's one dog that I walked, like Bella, for example. She had a bit of a dodgy knee, and our mum and dad were always, like, I'd walked her since she was a tiny pup. She was a spoilt brat because of me, and I hold my hands up to that. It was totally, like, when she was a tiny pup, I used to put her in the hood of my hoodie to walk her about because she was too tiny to walk, and I would carry her in one of these little sling things and stuff. So she was proper spoiled, and it was my fault. And they were like, look, she's busted her knee, but you know, we still want her to go out with you. And I was like, it's fine, you know, thinking, well, she's much bigger now. She was kind of Charles Spaniel, so I'm thinking, well, she's much bigger now, I can't put her in my hood. But I'll just carry her, it'll be cool, she'll be fine. So, but what I did was we went on a walk, and you know, I let her tell me what she was able to do. And then when we went home, I did some Reiki with her, and I've got a cute little picture of her just totally comatose on the floor after the session. And then she was up, like, jumping about like a spring chicken, and I took her home and she was so happy and she's jumping about, and our mum was like, what's the deal? And I said, oh, I did some Reiki on her. And it was like one of those comedy moments where our dad opened the door and he was like, did you just say you did Reiki on my dog? And I was like, yeah. I was like, could you do it on me? That's how she comes home. And it was just like, she then came back, like, for a couple more sessions, and the body seemed to just heal itself. Like, her knee was totally fine, and yeah, she was back to being our bouncy self who could come out on walks. And so yeah, it's just like, it's just creating that space to allow the body to do its job. But it's amazing when you see it happening. You're just like, oh, wow.
You're like, I've read the book, I've done the training, I know that it works, but also I'm still amazed every time that it does, because there is so much information out there that will tell you that's not possible unless you're taking big pharma or have some surgery or have some other medical intervention. And it's like, no, actually, if you get out of the way and create the right environment, the body knows exactly what it needs to do.
Yeah. Well, it's like Zane, for example, when he was diagnosed with his cancer, his prognosis was rubbish. You know, we were given 2 to 3 months, and he would go downhill very quickly, and we were told that he'd be a very sick dog. So very quickly I put his holistic care plan into place, got him all the nutrients that I needed, and he was still, even on the day that we took him to the vet to let him cross the Rainbow Bridge, he was still barking at other dogs and going crazy. And we were going, are we doing the right thing? Are we making the right decision? But he told me that morning that he was done, that his body was done. But he had 18 beautiful months.
Amazing.
With just having the right nutrients, and me just listening to him, telling me what he needed. We didn't push him too much. There was one time where he still thought he was a pup, and he went rolling about in the mud with Zach, and I had to climb into a pond to clean him. And I'm thinking, you're a 15-year-old dog with terminal cancer. What the hell are you doing trying to jump about in ponds, you know? But it's just amazing when those sorts of things happen.
It's that David Hamilton talks about, accept the diagnosis, not the prognosis.
Yeah.
It's like, right, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. How can I make the most of that? Whether it's you as a human or you caring for a dog, like,
totally.
and the dogs are so intelligent. Like, I think our human brains, we are allegedly most intelligent humans. Like, humans are the most intelligent animals on the planet. Question that, because we don't listen to ourselves. We listen to external sources all the time and give our power away all the time, whereas animals don't do that because they don't know how to.
Well, that's it, they've got no preconceived ideas either, so they're just like, oh, that feels good, I'm going to do that, and they just get on with it.
Whereas, in the mud.
Exactly. Whereas we're, and that daft idiot will clean in beside me and clean me. I would have loved someone to take a video of me climbing the fence to get into the pond that day. My big fat ass in the air. It would have, I think my husband actually did take a video, but only once I was in the pond, not after I climbed the fence. Right enough. That was a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? Just how these things, and that's what you provide for people and their health and well-being going forward. So is there anything, I hate to ask, but is there anything that you don't like?
In terms of, there's
Just
lots of
business,
things.
just business as a whole.
There's lots of things.
Let's stick to the business.
Okay, within business, I don't like all the marketing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like that. I don't like that. Or ending up with the wrong client. And if you get the wrong client, you know yourself that you've taken that client without asking the right questions. And it's like, oh, this is not right for either of us. I should have had a longer conversation before I let this go ahead.
And how do you navigate that? How do you get out of that?
I'll let you know. I suppose it's just the practice, because you then realise, oh, that's the step I missed. I'll get it next time. So you don't allow that relationship to continue on if it's the wrong relationship. It's being able to have an honest conversation with somebody and be like, okay, I know you started this protocol or this programme, I don't know that I'm the right person for you. I don't know that I'm taking you in the right direction for what you want and need.
Being upfront and honest about things.
Because chances are the other person feels the same way as well, and they just don't want to bring the comfort. They're just like, oh, well, I've already said, I've already committed to this, I've already paid, I've already whatever. And although I've got in my terms and conditions like no refunds once a block starts or whatever, but if I think this is not the right place to be, I'm not going to hold somebody's money to ransom, or even hold them to ransom through the rest of the day. Well, you've paid for it now, so too bad, too sad. I would never do that to somebody, because that's bad juju. And you don't want to not look forward to seeing a client and working with them. You always want to look forwards to it.
Yeah, and it's exactly the same with dogs as well. I mean, like, if I'm working with a dog that I know that I'm not a right fit for, then I will be completely honest with the owner and tell them. And back in the days when I used to do dog walking as well, like, owners would tell you anything to get you to walk their dog, like, and then you would start walking the dog and you'd be like, actually. But obviously now my knowledge is much better than it was then, so I can tell very, very quickly now. But back then it used to be like a couple of walks and I'd be like, oh, we're not the right fit for each other. You know, and I walked everything from Chihuahuas to Great Danes, so it wasn't like the size, or like, because obviously I'm 4 foot, and some people kind of take a look at that and think, are you going to be able to walk my massive Malamute? Yes, I can, as long as your Malamute is well behaved, you know, that kind of thing. But I would always be, or you could tell with the owners that, I mean, one time I went into a house and it was just like, so when you're here, could you maybe like run the Hoover over? Absolutely not. I'm not a cleaner, I'm a dog walker, you know, it's just, so you know right away those kind of clients are, sometimes they're more hassle than they're worth as well, aren't they? It's just like, oh, right, okay.
And do you know what, something I've noticed a couple of times when somebody sends a text message, and it might only be, can you tell me what your price is, can you tell me where you're located, but there's something in that message that my stomach makes a thing, and I'm like, there's something weird about this and I don't know what it is. Let me just dig a wee bit deeper. And then you find out in conversation, you're like, wow, how did I know that from that one question that they've asked?
I think it's just that so much working with energy, that your intuition just, I mean, mine is so switched on now, whereas, you know, like before, back in 2009 when I first started, I would be like, yeah, I'll take your dog, I'll walk in the dog and go to this place and go to that place, and now I'm just like, actually, here's somebody that I think can help, because I'm not going to be the right person.
Which is just learning to trust yourself, and also learning to trust that there are other clients out there, and the more honest that you can be, even with the people that you say no to. So you might say no to them because they're not the right fit, and then you refer them on to somebody else, but they'll still remember that you were honest with them. They won't be like, oh, well, I'm never going back to her. But then they might go, oh, this might be the right fit, or come back to you for something else if it is then the right fit.
Yeah, totally, 100%. And I suppose we've kind of talked about all your backgrounds and what you do and stuff, but is there anything that's happening just now that you would love to tell the audience about? Anything you've got coming up, anything new for the new year? I know it's previous talking about New Year when we're only in October, but anything that you just want to sing about?
So when is this is coming out in October?
You will be November, so you'll be next month.
Okay.
So we're sitting in October just now, you'll be coming in November.
What,
In a couple of weeks.
What point in November?
You'll go out in the first week in November.
First week in November, okay. So I've got an event on the 22nd of November with my friend Emma Toms, and we're talking about the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine.
Okay.
I know you talk about that
I do,
for dogs as well, so for humans, particularly for people that are living with chronic illness or women going through the menopausal journey, because this year's Menopause Awareness Month, the theme is about lifestyle medicine for menopause.
Okay.
Lifestyle medicine is about reducing harmful substances, healthy eating, healthy relationships, reducing your stress, reducing toxic loads, exercise. Have I repeated myself on one of them? Can't remember. But it's about having that like community and connection. And when you start living by these principles, regardless of what phase you are in your life or what you're dealing with, it makes things better. Because it's about taking some of the load off your responsibility, off your energy, to uplift your energy so that you can get into those healing spaces much more easily. And that's what we're talking about, because both myself and Emma have lived experience of living with chronic illness and using that those principles within our own healing journey, and we used them before they were called lifestyle medicine. Like that's
I suppose it's
it's
super important as well, because not only do you have all the knowledge and the qualifications and stuff, but you have that lived experience as well. And I feel that that's where it comes in with me with my dog work as well, because I've lived that. I've had 2 older dogs who've needed, I've had them since they were like really young right the way through, so I've seen all those changes in their lives, but I've been able to have the privilege of being able to kind of guide them into older life and hold them and hold the space for them as they've crossed, as much as it broke my heart, hold their space for them as they've crossed the Rainbow Bridge as well. And I think that's so key, isn't it? Just having that experience as well as the knowledge.
Because when I was a personal trainer and fitness instructor pre-diagnosis, as much as I could empathise with people and be like, right, listen to your body and don't push yourself too hard if you're not feeling well or whatever, and I would have that compassion there in place, but not until I couldn't walk and I had to carry my belly because it was so inflamed, that I was like, oh, that's what it feels like to be in pain, or that's what it feels like to have fatigue. And fatigue is very different from tiredness, and trying to get people who have never experienced fatigue to understand it doesn't feel the same. And it's so difficult to explain how it feels, because there's nothing else to compare it to. And just pushing through and just going for a nap doesn't get you out of fatigue. There's so much more to it. And fatigue comes off the back of so many different things. Everybody with a chronic illness experiences fatigue. Quite often post-viral, you'll get fatigue for a period of time. People just think they have to keep pushing through, and it's helping people understand that that's not actually useful.
So where and when is the event?
So that's 22nd of November at the Wellbeing Hub in Rogart Street, just in Bridgeton, in Glasgow. And it's that's a Saturday from 2 till 5, so Saturday afternoon. I've also, for 2026, I'm offering people, if they sign up now and pay £120 deposit, that they can book in for my recalibration and reset sessions for 2026 at 2025's prices, so there won't be any price increase for people that sort of commit to making that commitment to themselves for next year. So my recalibration session is a 3-hour treatment. So similar to the group session that you came to, but just one-to-one. So we start with a cacao or herbal tea, have a chat about what's going on in your life, then I design this session for you based on the conversation that we're having. So it'll include all of the services, or little bits of all of the services, depending on what the individual needs. The reset version of that is a 90-minute version of that, so it's cut down if people don't have 3 hours. And then the offer for next year is to commit to either one supporter once every other month or once a month for themselves, and they pay that monthly for the year. And
where can people find you?
I'm on all the social media platforms, pretty much. I've got my YouTube channel, which is I Am Jen Wilson. I'm on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn.
And I will include all of Jen's details in the show notes anyway. I'll include all of our links and everything that she's got coming up will be in the show notes. But thank you, Jen, that was such an amazing, interesting conversation. Thank you so much for coming along.
Thank you.
So join me next time when I will be joined by Kay Drewer, and we will be chatting all things about life coaching, which will be super interesting. But yeah, just thank you so much for listening, and again, Jen, thank you so much for being an amazing guest. See you soon. Bye.